Everybody, hello Facebook, hello Instagram.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yes, happy Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
We have wished our moms happy Mother's Day. We've sent gifts.
Yes.
Yours arrived for your mom. Mine is still
It did.
in transit.
Is it still underway?
Unfortunately. And, oh shoot, I just turned my camera around.
Up there, top left.
You can see my apartment in Bordeaux. Hey everybody! Guys, I'm so glad that there are people here to listen to our talk on vocal transitions.
Vocal transitions.
And we're going to just dive into it, right? Usually we wait for the room to fill up a little bit, but we're going to a concert tonight. We are hearing the wonderful Nathalie Dessay sing a recital tonight in Bordeaux. Super looking forward to that.
It's going to be fun.
Hey Penny!
Hey Penny!
And so we're going to jump into this
like
talk.
This.
You just dove.
I didn't jump. I dove, I didn't jump.
Yeah, I liked it.
Anyway,
we always try to think about what we should talk about and what's going to help the most people, and then it's something.
This is my water glass.
I don't have a water glass.
I always show water glasses, as we know.
I don't have one
there you go.
But then it dropped into my mind we should talk about vocal transitions because next week is an important week. I will do my Wagner debut. And it's sort of a culmination
That was a good moment. That should be the tag. That should be the tagline for your debut. Is that right there? You need to. That's your post. Making my Valkyrie debut.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
That's it. Bye.
I love it. No,
all right. So
if you all go on my
focus.
Instagram, the last two posts I've been talking about that a little bit.
Yes.
And what it means to go full circle in this process, because sometimes when you're in a vocal transition, you just think it'll never end, ever.
It's true.
And I think
but
it
does
stops a lot of careers.
Yeah, it depends how long it takes, but it can. Yeah, it's really important, and it's absolutely normal. Every voice experiences it. It happens to everyone, and so. But somehow it's really funny because it's almost like it's not really talked about, and so people spend a lot of they start, they work, they sing, they do the things, and all of a sudden, the voice begins to shift and change, and it doesn't work like it used to work. It doesn't feel like it used to feel, and then you go, well, what is this? And then if you don't have the right information, you don't know, and then at least, because it's different for everyone. But at least if you know that something is coming, and you don't have to be afraid of it, because it's normal. It's annoying.
It's annoying, but normal.
But it's normal.
Hey, Sandy.
Then at least you're prepared a little bit, and so when it happens, you don't have to be all, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah, and it's so funny because anytime a promoter or an agent, asks us about a singer and saying, what's happening there? First question is, how old are they? How old are they? What voice type are they? And if anybody says, oh, they're 29 and a dramatic 30, soprano, or 29
or mid-late 30s,
and a
especially,
it's like,
kind of a different thing.
The voice changes at that age.
Yeah, it's a thing.
And, you can expect a singer to have several changes, right?
Lots of changes.
There'll be a very dramatic one, usually at the end of the 20s.
It's different. For me, it was late 20s.
Yeah.
Some people have it in their mid-late, 20s, so 25, 26, 27, then again at 35, 36, 37.
Yeah.
I had it again in my late 30s. So I'm every 10 years. Generally, it's every 10 years. Yeah. Pretty close. And it'll either be in the middle or it'll be at the ends generally.
Yeah. And mine started I guess kind of in my early 30s. Yeah.
Yeah, because yours went through your mid 30s.
Yeah.
You were a mid 30s transition.
And now it's stabilized, so that's cool. So look, we said this is like a battle. And if you're gonna win a battle, nobody ever goes into a battle alone. Right?
No,
you need advisors, you need help if you're gonna go into a battle and you're gonna win. And that's what we want you to win at Vocal Transitions.
That's right. And then this happened.
That's right. So, okay, we just kind of wrote out some stuff and then we wrote an action plan. So we're going to bust through that.
We're going to
get through it. Then on the Living Opera website, we'll write it out in a bit more detail and put this video on there. So it'll have your full plan And maybe as we're writing it, we'll think of other things to add to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's always stuff. I'm sure this is not comprehensive. It's pretty good list, but I'm sure there will be more.
Oh, look, there's stuff.
Hello.
Hello. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Ho 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 ho.
So,
ho.
okay, the first thing you want to do, if you feel like you're going through a vocal transition, and like maybe we should talk about just a little bit what it feels like internally, because for me, it's like I'm telling my body and my voice to do something, and it's not doing it. And I'm not like...
That kind of sums it up,
the coordination has worked up until this point, and now it's not working anymore, and I don't know why.
That actually sums it up, really.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to feel different to everybody, but that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
It is that you sing the way you've always sung, and it just doesn't work the way it's always worked.
Yeah.
And so then you go, oh, what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
I
So,
yeah, and so if you start to feel wonky, like if you've been doing well up until this point, and then something starts to feel like, I can't get this to do what it used to do, you're probably going through a vocal transition. So the first thing you want to do,
are good.
Well, I'm assuming all of you have voice teachers, and if you don't, you need a voice teacher.
Yes.
You have to.
You have
okay.
to have a voice
So
teacher.
okay, I'm assuming you all have voice teachers. First thing you do.
We're working under that assumption that everyone has a voice teacher.
First thing you have
That
to
is
do is go
trustworthy.
and talk to that voice teacher,
Yeah.
and find out, am I in a full vocal shift?
Yeah.
Or is just a register shift? And can you just talk a bit about what that means? Because in my case, I went through an entire vocal shift, going from like crazy light lyric rep to basically Sieglinde.
Yeah.
And you?
Yeah, mine started, the one that I've gone through now is one that has changed. It didn't change the whole voice. The voice changed it didn't change. You still sound like yourself. So if you suddenly find that you don't sound like yourself anymore, then either you hadn't found the real voice in the beginning, or what's happening now is off. Because you will still sound like yourself. It's just going to be
a bit deeper,
fuller, more compression,
more
stable, all that.
That's right.
But for me, it was a change in kind of the passaggio and then up. It began to grow, and now it's kind of filtering down through the voice. It didn't start in the middle of the voice. It started up and then is coming down.
But we needed Sherman, our teacher Sherman, because he was the one that identified. You thought it was happening in your passaggio.
I thought maybe the voice was coming down a half step.
Yeah.
But that's not what it was. The passaggio still works the same way, and as far as, well, this is a long thing. I don't want to talk too long about it. But for my voice and a lot of tenors, it just depends on how dramatic or lyric it is. F sharp is a turning point.
Yeah.
Sometimes for higher voices, it's G and can be A flat.
Yeah.
Sometimes for lower voices, it's F and even E that they turn. But for me, and for a lot of lyrics, F is kind of an open place, and then F sharp it turns and you go up. I thought mine was going now, I would need to turn to F sharp, and that also happens at C sharp. So C sharp, F sharp, but now, and I thought maybe C, F, but that's not the case.
No.
It's still the same,
He just said,
but it's filling out.
Yeah.
It's just filling out. That's all it is. It's not a change of that kind of work. So anyway, so we're up, and then now it's filtering down to where the voice in the middle is beginning to open.
Yeah, and
lower.
so in your case, basically more strength is coming into the top of your voice.
Yeah.
And usually when that happens,
fuller,
it means
it's
that the whole voice is
more
widening,
open.
deepening, and that's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
Actually, I need some water. Excuse me.
It's great. So anyway, that's that.
I think it's your hairspray.
Oh, really? No.
Okay.
My hairspray.
I don't like the smell of it.
It isn't. It's kind of
don't
stuck
like it.
around too.
Yeah, okay.
Don't
Anyway, okay, so
I'll do this.
First, no, you're good. First, consult your voice teacher. So
Yes.
check mark, okay, you've done that.
Boom.
Then, if you already have representation, if you're already a working singer, find out which roles from your old repertoire can still take you through the transition.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I know, sorry. And which ones you have to just completely get rid of.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to get rid of everything and start again,
Yep.
which is kind of what I did.
Yeah.
A little bit.
For sure.
But it's funny because now I'm circling back to certain roles, like I just sang Elettra in Idomeneo, and I will probably revisit another main Mozart role coming up. So that's exciting because my voice did such a thing that it was it became so destabilized that I had no idea what I could sing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was really hard because I I just didn't know what to tell my agent to do. So they couldn't help me the way they would have probably wanted to at that time.
And you can't. I mean, there's nothing to do about
Yeah.
it. Just
So anyway, so find out, is there anything I can still use and get hired for, or am I starting from scratch again?
and that will also, and that does take you in the direction you want to go.
Yes, that's
It
not,
can't,
yeah, that's huge.
not just that you can just sing. It's that you can sing, but also points you where you're going.
Yeah, I mean, like right now, so you know that the middle of your voice is growing, so you are strategizing,
Yes.
saying, okay, I'm trying to grow this part of my voice, so I would like to look at these roles. And then, of course, whatever comes. But if you have the intention to sing something, it's
And that will
it's
also
a good
inform
thing.
you. If what comes doesn't work, then you don't do it.
Yeah.
And that's the point. You will have to say no to things or cancel things or stuff like that.
Yeah.
It can be.
I think this is the next point is a really logical one, and it's always a logical one actually. If you feel like something is off in your technique or something is weird, don't keep practicing the wrong technique. Practice intelligently. Don't spend 2 hours in the practice room trying to work it out on your own when you don't have the right information yet.
Yep.
Right? So we just say practice smart and not hard so you don't reinforce bad habits in the shift. What were the first symptoms that you noticed? We mentioned that, I think, before you joined, but basically it's like your voice is working, and you're sending the same information through the mechanism, and then suddenly one day it just doesn't work anymore, and you're like, what gives?
Yeah. It begins to, this doesn't,
Hi Watson, hi Mirsini.
hello. Yeah, it begins to just not work like it used to.
Yeah, and there'll be, and I want to mention one thing because I know a lot of young singers are going to watch this. I'm just like, my brush and show. Okay. A lot of times, hi Leticia, when you're younger, you're encouraged to sing very forward, very bright. Watson the Bulldog is saying hi to me. Hi Watson the Bulldog. Hi Leticia. And it'll go, I don't know if I can really demonstrate it, but it'll be something between like, oh no, how am I going to do this?
I don't know, what are you trying to do?
Vedrai carino,
It's more-
buonino. It'll be like,
That's more.
And
that's
as your voice is getting more mature,
exactly.
vedrai carino, you'll go more back and around. So anyway, that's another talk.
Yeah.
But so these are some signs that you could be going through a shift, that if this kind of forward and squealo position stops working, it'll get shrill, it'll get sharp a lot of times. Lack of tuning can often be a sign too that your voice is going through something weird when it previously worked. Now, if you always just sang out of tune, then that's another thing.
Generally, I mean, when you're younger, it's good to have more of a natural technique. It's got a lot of buzz in it. It's not, but it is more kind of
Masky.
It's more masky. But as you age, you will not lose height, but the voice will deepen. The voice will go, it will feel like it's going back. Follow the voice. Never fight your voice.
That's good.
If you fight your voice and try to keep doing this, don't fight it. Allow it to develop, allow it to deepen, because that's a good sign, it's not a bad sign. It'll be a sign you have to manage. You're going to have to manage it. So that you don't just suddenly go like, and do whatever. No. But you allow the voice to do it, because it's going to take you into maturity. It takes you exactly where every singer needs to be.
And wants to be.
Hopefully. So it's very necessary. But don't allow we hear people all the time who try to sing the same way when they're 40 that they did when they're 25. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And if I can say such a thing, I don't mean any disrespect to people, but you have to allow the voice to deepen, to open.
Yes.
You will not lose height.
No.
Just because it deepens doesn't mean that suddenly you start going, no. You can still maintain that. You just have to manage it by knowing more what to do with your mechanism, with the body and all of that. So that's another topic. But anyway, always follow the voice. Don't fight the voice.
Yes.
Follow the voice.
Yes.
Anyway.
This goes into the exact next point I wrote here. Be prepared to feel destabilized for a period.
Yep.
It is going to happen, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
But be prepared for it. You will feel a bit destabilized. And I just wrote this just as a little side note, that it really baffles me when people, oh, awesome. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Yay.
Yay.
It really baffles me when people are longing for change or the future all the time. We have to learn to be content where we are, because there are good things
Very
where we
important.
are. You know, it's a learning
Really
process. It will give you a firm foundation to stand on, because you know that you are building something on good information, and that's a really important thing, and you want to do that. When people are longing for change all the time, it says and signals to me that they're longing for they're longing for upheaval. I don't want to be in upheaval all the time. I don't want to be in constant change. I would like to find stability. And so, you know, when you're going through a vocal change, that's destabilizing enough. You don't need to add extra
Don't add anything more.
weird stuff in your life. Okay, so that's just a little side note.
Yeah.
Now, here's another practical thing. As your voice changes, your media image and materials need to change to adapt to your new voice and persona.
There's the thing now.
Yes, well, I think it's always been
I
a
need
thing.
to do it. This part is to myself too, because
Note to self.
I need to
Do
do
that.
everything. I need to do everything. I need new photos. I think my photos are like 7 years old or
No, they're
something.
not that old, but
all that.
But you know, and it's also, it doesn't have to cost you a ton of money, and I think it's cathartic, because it's like, okay, I'm leaving this part behind, and I think it's good. You don't, you know, and not looking back at what was, because the thing is, well, we're gonna preach it, don't you, girl? You know, there are better things ahead.
I like that. I like it.
I believe that. You know, I
Yes.
think when you take the time to really make the shift, to really commit yourself to doing that kind of work, I think that there are better things coming. And you know, if you read my last post, I'm fortunate because I had good people that
Thank you, Don Clark.
could help me through that, because it was really hard. And my vocal transition, my goodness.
Hers took a little longer. I mean,
Well,
it was very different situation.
I mean, it lasted.
Gina, what up?
Hi, Jeannie and Venamu.
We're talking.
Hey.
Did we tell him what we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
Oh, you already know what we're talking
But you know, the change in my voice, there started to be like hints of it, even like 6-7 years ago. But we were like, okay, ignore this. Don't want to deal with this. Also, didn't have a voice teacher or the help, which is why we're like, get a voice teacher. You need the right information.
I mean, it's really important that you build the stuff up in stages.
Yes.
And the very fundamental is that you need the right information. You
Yes.
need the right voice teacher. You need the
Everything.
right information. We can't stress to you
Yes.
enough about how important that is, because if you have the wrong information, you won't know which directions to pursue. You won't know which ways to go.
Yeah.
You won't know what the voice is, what are the right
Well,
things that the voice
and
is doing.
sometimes
It's
in that kind of
it's
a
not-
period of shift,
yeah.
it's like sometimes your entire team has to shift.
You will have to do this. And this is
It's
something to
tough.
remember. It's really hard. There will be people that have helped you along the way that you will have to leave behind. And it's for no fault of anybody. It's that you wherever you are at in your development needs something else. It
Yeah.
needs new people. It needs a
Or even
shift.
just a fresh start.
Yeah. So
Okay, I think
don't
we
be
got off
afraid to
topic
do
here.
that. It will be annoying, but don't be
So
afraid to
we
do
were
it.
actually talking about that you need to change your media material, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I
We
tangented
tangent.
very
Yeah.
hard.
So let's hit.
Okay, hang on a second now.
Oh,
Hang on.
sorry.
And this is just something too, that vocal change can also be an invitation to personal change too. So
Yes.
like changing your team
Yep.
or making new, better habits. You know, yeah. And this is just an example, but like before this sort of transition came full circle for me, Norman could actually already see kind of what was coming. He could anticipate it more than me, because I had been in the shift for so long, in the frustrated place for so long. It was hard for me to see myself at some point. And he said, look, things are coming for you now. And this was about a year ago or a year and a half ago?
A year ago.
And Norman said, look, you need to start investing now. So he, you know, and I'm always the one, I'll be like, I'm the saver. I'll be like, oh no, we shouldn't do this, we shouldn't buy that. He's the one that does. He's like, no, we need to do this. And so, for example, like I needed, hi mom, I needed a new laptop. I hadn't had a new laptop since 2013. He was like, please just do that. And he got me a new phone that would take better photos for social
What we're
media.
doing now, what we're
Yeah.
doing is
And-
prepared us for that. It's
Okay, that's just a small thing, but it has made a difference, and it has been very useful, and yeah, it helped. So anyway, oh yeah, and I'm like saying here, don't go into debt though. If you can't afford that stuff, don't do that. Okay, just don't do that.
Well, yeah, I mean, don't go into debt.
Yeah,
Go-
we don't want
you
you to do that.
Go ahead
And
and,
this
you know,
goes into what we were just
if you
saying. As you shift in your vocal identity, there will always be people who are stuck in your old identity. And they won't be able to get past it.
This is another sermon in and of itself. This is another thing, but
you can't be worried about. You can't be worried about that.
That's a whole other talk, actually.
You know, there are people who are still stuck, even though we are doing whatever. There are still people, for example, that have told me to sing crazy stuff that I could never foreseeably be cast in now because they just haven't heard me and they don't know me and they don't know where I'm at, and they get stuck on a picture of you from 10 years ago or from 3 years ago. You can't help that, so you just shouldn't bother worrying about it. Eventually, if you're performing, they'll see you and they'll get their lives together.
I actually think you say it in here, we put it in somewhere, but
where?
Be prepared for many opinions, most of which you can ignore.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm just gonna do this now.
You have to pick the people you're going to listen to.
Yeah. Seriously.
And then.
And the thing is, I want to say too, I've been just as opinionated. I have been like, oh, that person sings that now. Yeah. It's like that's ingrained. We need to stop doing that. Yeah. Because my voice has changed like crazy in the last 3 years. Then it changed again in November of 2018 or something. When were you in Dresden? Whenever you were in Dresden, my voice did something and it went, whoop, and it was like.
I have no idea.
Okay, whatever. Whenever you were in Dresden, I had a major change again. What's this comment? I have bad neighbors. I have to study, so I study in front of pillows. Norman used to sing in pillows.
I used to sing into pillows.
But not because of his neighbors, because he didn't want anyone to know
I was too shy. I didn't want anybody to hear me sing.
But, anyway, all that to say, in the space of just a few years, I've gone from singing, I sang the Pearl Fishers once, which is like seriously hilarious, and now I sing Sieglinde. So everything is possible.
Everything is possible!
Everything is possible!
All right, so
okay.
Let's move on down here. Unless, is that, no, that's okay.
We can put this in the end. Okay, so here's your action plan.
Action plan. And there are probably more things, but here are some things.
Okay.
In fact, I'm sure there are more things.
And I think we've done this, we've kind of said this already,
but here are some.
Now we're just going to do bullet points. And then we will take like 1-2 questions and we got to go. All right? So.
Hit it!
All right, first, what are you going to do? You're going to consult your voice teacher, and together, you all are going to create a plan.
Yep.
That's number 1. All right.
Yay! If necessary, cancel inappropriate gigs well in advance. Don't leave people hanging. Julianne,
I don't think Julianne's still there.
Are you still there, Julianne?
He looks like a cowboy.
Don't leave people in the lurch. That's not what we're talking about. But, there will be things you may have to say, I can't sing that anymore.
And your agent won't like it, and it's too bad. Because if you can't sing well, then it's just too bad.
Yeah, it's better for you to pull out of things that you're going to be mediocre to not good in.
Yeah.
Than that's going to be far better in the long run. Yes. So, but do it in advance. Yes. Don't do it like 2 days before.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Anyway.
Okay. Pertaining to that too, check your finances. What where are you at? If you have to take some time off to facilitate this change, make sure you and if you have any family or dependents can do that. Mm-hmm. Now, as long as you get the right information and the right resource, it will be worth it in the end, and the investment will pay off. Hey, Allie, the investment will pay off. But that is a thing that you have to consult your entire family and your entire team about before you just dive in.
Yeah.
So it's super important. Hey, girl. All right.
Have a media plan?
Yes.
I need to develop a media plan.
All right, I'll help you do that. Okay. Oh, here's number 5. Well, no.
Like I said, this is talking to me too. It's not. Yeah.
It's thinking about who am I now? What kind of public persona do I want to project about who I am? Because of course that is a bit of what we have to do. It's always been an element in the entertainment business. It's not like some
new thing,
big revelation that we have to do PR. Okay.
Exactly.
Number
that's just the way to put it. Sorry, I already mentioned it. But
number 5 is be ready for lots of opinions.
Yes.
About everything to do with you. But stick to your plan.
Stick to your plan.
They are not part of your plan. The only opinions you care about are people you have
to
given
trust.
Yeah, you've given them permission to speak into your life. Otherwise, it's this. With a smile.
You can be nice about it.
With a smile, like this.
Be nice, but yeah.
Thanks so much for your opinion. Okay.
Yes.
Here you go.
Am I doing that one?
Number 6, yeah.
Start to learn roles that that you want your voice to go into.
Yeah.
Start to learn things now for where you want Some things you would sing now, but they aren't necessarily contracted for yet. Other things you will sing in 3 years. Start learning them now, because the sooner you put them in the right way, the faster it's going to go for you.
Yes.
And
especially if you're going into a rare fach, as I have done, sometimes your first breaks will be simply because you are the one that knows the music.
that does happen.
And
It's true.
so, I missed a couple of opportunities because I just didn't know the parts well enough, and I didn't feel like, pushing that. I was afraid. And so I'm just very candid about that. Now it's different. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Once you're comfortable with your new voice, make a simple demo. Choose 2 to 3 short pieces and highlight the new exciting things about your voice. Mm-hmm. And you can literally do this with your iPhone and a tripod. It does not have to cost you a lot of money. I made like a super cheap demo in Berlin with my coach there. I bought a $10 tripod and I've gotten work from that. So
there you have it.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that one.
Number 8, media materials.
Yeah, the media plan. That's
well, yeah, but
part of
there is
it,
one thing
right?
you can, if you're going through a transition, you can feel free to mention something about like I'm studying this new thing or whatever in your bio, but just keep it super short and don't elaborate. Nobody cares. Just keep it super short. And I mean, like nobody wants to be like, and then I'm doing this. No, just say I am starting to do this fuck now.
Be really clear,
and it gives people a perspective, and they can figure that out. Okay.
Where are we at?
Number 9.
Get ready for a new chapter. You move from where you were in your mind, especially you move from where you were to where you're going.
Yeah.
And you have to start thinking that way, acting that way, talking that way. Believe it or not, dressing that way. That may sound weird to some people, but it really does mean something. You have to shift your life to where you're going and not where you've been. And it's not because you're forgetting about it. It's not about.
It's
but
part of your experience.
it's part of your experience, but it is about I'm going there.
Yeah.
And you're focused on where you're going.
That's right. And like that you mentioned about dressing a certain way, like you and I sat down and I was like, look, I'm feeling kind of not, I mean, I have a lot of nice clothes and stuff, but I was like, I don't feel like these sort of perpetuate who I am now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm older than when I bought these and I feel differently in my mind. And so we set aside some money just to buy a few simple things so I could feel more like myself. And it's helped.
Yep.
And it wasn't a lot of money and it wasn't a lot of items, but it just felt more like where I am right now. And they're just simple things compared to slacks and blouses. But it's really, I don't know, it's just made a difference. So, Hey Daniel, thought you were going to miss us, son.
How's the opera going?
No, he's done. He's not at the opera. Are you at the opera?
Is he done?
Yeah, right, Ali. Like it's just there's something about how you clothe. It's expression, and so it is one way for you to show
something.
like this is how I feel about myself. This
It does. It just does. Mean
okay, this last thing, and this is partly what this whole living opera. Oh, awesome! Greetings from Tannhäuser. What this project is all about. Okay, so we're here at step 10. Once you're established in your new vocal identity, be generous with others and share your experiences. Take a colleague out for coffee and tell them how you got through give them tips, share wisdom, because a vocal transition can be super scary, and especially if you're going through it on stage as you were in front of the industry, right?
It's not my favorite.
Super hard.
I'm not gonna lie.
So be that person that says, "Hey, let me buy you a coffee, and let me help you here."
Yes. Exactly.
So, and Ali says dressing is a really good point. Expressing who you really are, absolutely.
Yeah.
And okay, let's see. Do we have?
By the way, on the dressing thing, I don't mean like dress like everybody else dresses. I mean dress actually what Ali's talking about.
like yourself.
Dress yourself.
Who you are.
Dress like yourself, but do.
Update audition materials to fit your present status. I hear lots of auditions each year. All sopranos, not queen of night. All tenors, not amazing.
Absolutely.
That's very true.
Yeah, it should be reflective of
I can't imagine just listening to those two things all the time.
Yeah, it's a lot of high F and a lot of high C. I mean, it's
too
exciting,
much.
but it's a lot.
Don, that is too
Are
much,
there
man. Don't you
any
think?
questions, super quick, because we have to get out of here and listen to Natalie just say sound awesome.
Yes.
If there's anything,
Is there anything
in
anyone
the
would
next
like?
minute, we will answer it. Otherwise, we're
going-
gonna jet.
I don't have a second hand on this watch, but I'm
Yeah, I
going
know.
to look at it like I do. See. Okay, I'm not going to do that. No.
okay,
But if
well,
you have
guys-
any questions really quickly, then we're happy.
Did you
here we
ever
go.
have like an imposter syndrome? Is it possible that the transition is done?
It's a good question.
If you had to give advice to your 25-year-old self, what would it be? Oh my gosh, there's so many things because my 25-year-old self was crazy.
My 25-year-old self would be don't worry. Don't worry, it's all fine. And don't quit.
Yeah.
Because I almost quit at 29. And if it hadn't been for my parents and my family and some few other people, I'd have been gone.
Yeah.
So
I think I would have said so many things because, like I said, my 25
Don't worry, don't quit.
version was
That would have been
super
me.
crazy. But I think I would have said get healed because I had a lot of issues and I didn't know where to get help. If you've had any sort of like weird trauma or any like hard experiences, get that dealt with because you need a really solid foundation to withstand this business.
Yeah.
And because hopefully if you're attracted to our project, part of what you want to do is help other people. And so if you're not healed, it's going to be really hard for you to help other people.
And this whole thing about, people talk, artists and some people, they talk about suffering for your art and all that kind of stuff, and that's certainly a valid thing. But my only question whenever I hear that is, well, then what about that person's life?
Yeah. We care about your life.
We care about your life.
Seriously. It is not worth it. Well, that's another
and there have been marvelous artists who weren't suffering for their art, who were just great artists.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to suffer in life.
You don't have to be crazy to sing
be
opera
good,
or any
to be
other
a great
art form.
artist. You don't.
You really
because
don't.
everybody's life has plenty in it to express.
There's plenty of ways to
there
suffer
are
in life.
plenty of ways to
Thanks.
have a hard time.
I want to answer this question. Did you ever feel like you were an imposter
That's
syndrome?
a very good.
Is it possible that the transition is done? It's like, yeah, those are a couple of different things. But I don't think I ever really struggled with that.
You feel like, where'd it go?
It's
Sorry.
here. Imposter syndrome.
Like an imposter syndrome.
I know a lot of people do, but I don't really feel like I went through that because my career was so strange and so sporadic, so that when I finally got an opportunity, I didn't feel like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think that comes a lot of times with people when they have opportunities and they feel like somehow they didn't earn it or they didn't. Right? I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Sometimes maybe not. If you don't feel prepared enough.
Yeah. No, I certainly
I
tried
understand
to push the end of the transition.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of funny because like when you're going through all of that and you go to audition and you're not getting hired, like, especially if you lean more on the side of self-confidence, which, I guess I did. I'd be like,
yes,
why are they hiring me?
I leaned on the other end. I leaned on the, I get it.
And I'd be like, I know that high note doesn't work and that thing there, but, and I was like, it was hard for me to accept that I wasn't good enough at singing yet. And now, as I'm better at singing, I'm getting more jobs. It's funny how that works. Like, yeah. But I think it's really easy to fall into both of those things. But there is a timing. And I think you feel it and the industry feels it. I tried to push things before it was time because that's just my personality. I'm impatient. I want to, I've had to learn patience. Mm-hmm. That's not a natural trait. Norman is naturally far more patient than me, right? So.
Sure.
I think as you learn who you are as a person, it eliminates a lot of those issues because you realize you have a ton of self-worth and a lot of value apart from your amazing gift of singing and your ability to make money as a singer. And you have a lot of other qualities. And I think once that level of self-awareness and healing is reached, there's a lot more open doors for work.
Yeah.
Depending on the kind of person that you are. Some people, I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like they can plow through it. I was never a person that could do that.
I'm not a plower. It's not my thing.
No.
Matt Rose is a very important question. How important is golf in preparing to sing Mozart?
I don't know, Matt. How
well, I can
important
tell
is
you.
it? Tell us.
Highly important. It's huge.
Matt, you're so cheeky.
It's huge.
Don't make me come over there.
Huge. That's all I can say about it. Really big.
So guys, I really hope.
Did you do master classes? Do you do master classes when you
have
have
productions
productions together?
Absolutely.
If some, if somebody wants to hear what we have to say.
No, look, I mean, actually, this is something.
Sure.
This is something that
Huge.
it's huge. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
We love doing that. We love talking to students. Good. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're looking forward to hearing that, Demi. We are actually flirting with the idea of doing a very, very small, like 2-day masterclass workshop thing in Vienna if there is interest.
Is there interest? Anyone?
Yeah,
We'll, put
I
the-
mean,
we'll
you don't
pose
have to
this
answer
question
now.
on.
But
You don't have to answer now.
we're just looking at
Well, we're gonna look
schedules.
at-
Things are changing.
Yeah.
Just yesterday, I found out about another opportunity. So juggling all of that is just where we're at right now. But
Bonk.
yeah,
True.
certainly we want to do that. We've done it a couple times and it's been super fun.
It's great fun.
Yeah. Although I think I might have gotten in trouble because we went to a major institution and I was like, you all don't need master's degrees. I don't think you're supposed to do that when you go to big institutions.
Yeah, no, that's good. So,
Wasn't supposed to say that. And in
We-
Houston,
we're-
Dawn
what?
is asking, and in Houston, well, yeah, as you know, we're coming to
yeah,
Houston to sing
we're
together
going to
next
Houston
year.
to sing together next year.
We haven't set anything up yet. It's definitely been on my
Yeah,
mind
I'm
to do that.
I'm gonna actually talk to the powers that be about
Yeah.
if that. I don't know if any of that's interesting for anybody, but
Yeah.
I thought I would talk to them there and see, talking about a few things, and that being one of them.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, I definitely want to do it.
Yeah.
It's just really fun to give a different perspective on certain things and
Yeah.
see like a light bulb go off and see somebody just get kind of a breath of fresh air.
Yep.
And that really makes me happy when that happens.
Well, we're gonna have to go.
Yes, we gotta go.
7:37.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all so much for watching.
Being
You guys
with
are
us
awesome. We
tonight.
really appreciate it.
Come to
Yeah.
Argentina. We'll try.
That'd be awesome.
Actually, Norman, you
I would
almost
love to
you
come to
almost had to
Argentina.
go where, Norman?
But it wasn't to Argentina.
No, I know, but it was getting in the
I would-
vicinity.
it was in South America.
In Peru?
It's
Was
quite
was it
big.
in Peru? I don't remember.
No, it was in Chile.
Oh, in Chile. Okay,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, we will try.
Yes,
One day.
that would be
There's
great.
an amazing opera
We would
house
love to do
there.
that. Yes,
Wow.
there is.
Okay. This will be up for replay on YouTube.
Yes.
Of course, it'll be available on Instagram for the next 24 hours, and then once I do stuff to it, it'll be on Living Opera, www.livingopera.org.
Gotta do stuff to it.
Yes.
We have to do stuff to it. Change the entire content of the
No,
video.
I just, I always edit it a bit and do, put whatever.
So,
but it
all right.
might be. I'll try to do it for tomorrow. I have a
Thank
stage
you.
orchestra for.
You're awesome, Don. Thank you.
So
Yeah.
it might not.
It might be a few days.
No, not a few days.
It
but
may
like,
be,
it might be
2 days.
Yeah.
Or a day and a half.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Take care, everybody. We will see you.
Hug your mom. If
Hug
you
your
can-
mom.
If you see her today.
Hug your mom if you see her today. That's
And
right.
We will catch up
And-
with you.
I think
when
we're
I'm
together
in-
again in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But so we'll definitely do one then.
Yes.
So
All right. Guys, thank you so
thank
much
you so
for
much.
joining us.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah.